Hello everyone, my name is Emma Grant, and for the 5 Themes of Geography project, I will be presenting about the Arbin International Ice and Snow Festival. So, what is the festival all about anyways? I asked myself the same thing. This festival is held annually in Heilongjiang, Arbin. To begin, we need a little background on this festival to fully appreciate it. It started in 1963 and was originally just a local attraction that a few people attended. Not long after it started, the festival had to take a few years off. This is during the Cultural Revolution. At the time, there was a communist leader in China. His name was Mao Zedong, and Mao was born into a peasant family, and he had a very rough upbringing. This affected his view of China and China's political views. He, along with a friend, Zhu Enlai, started the Chinese Communist Party. They were co-founders. Ma believed that peasantry would be the revolutionary elite and lead the country back to the right direction. Ma has a famous book. Its title is The Little Red Book, and this became a must-read for all Chinese people, but especially for the young. And so still with the help of Zhu Enlai, Ma continued to lead China. And that was until 1976 when Ma passed away, and the nation was devastated. During Ma's reign, 1.5 million people were killed, and another 3 million others suffered imprisonment, seizure of property, torture, and general humiliation. Obviously, China had a lot going on at this time, but once they were able to recover, the festival started back up in 1985 at an event in Zhulan Park. Heilongjiang's Arbin had a separate event. It was a skiing event, and in 2001 the two festivals merged together with the Ice and Snow Festival, and that's whenever it got its official name as the Arbin Ice and Snow Festival. The festival is held in Arbin, China, and it takes up about 750 square meters of land, and most of this is mountainous area, but some of it is in the city, parks and stuff. Today, the Ice and Snow Festival is the biggest in the world. The size of the sculptures are part of what make the event so outstanding. The tallest ice sculpture is about 46 meters high, so that's about 150.9 feet tall. So just to give you a visual, I put a picture of the Statue of Liberty up here. And the Statue of Liberty is from the bottom of her feet to the top of her torch is 151 feet tall and 11 inches. So that's just a little bit taller than the tallest sculpture at Arbin. Master sculptors use ice from the Songhu River. They use swing saws to carve the ice into blocks, and then the sculptors use a variety of tools, including but not limited to the chisels, ice picks, and a variety of saws. Some sculptors have their own little neat tricks that they like to use to manipulate the ice how they want. And up here is a map of where the Songhu River goes through China. It takes 10,000 workers to haul the ice and snow blocks from the Sanghu River. And then after the ice is in the location that the venue will be held at, the skilled sculptors work days and nights to prepare their art for the show. There's a lot of creativity put into the design, a lot of thought and time. I have a video for you guys to watch. It shows some of the behind the scenes work that's required. It shows how much patience that the sculptors have to have, not to crack the entire piece. In the video, there's a Spanish chiseler, and he's from there's a different temperature where he lives, so he definitely has to make some adjustments because the climate in Arbin is so much colder than where he's used to. So I'll just let you watch this video. Let me pull it up here.
Sculptures competing at China's annual Snow and Ice Festival. Birds, buffaloes, and the more mythological creatures are just some of the designs imagined up at this year's contest. This sculptor explained the symbolic meaning behind his work. This piece is meant to express the contents of a kind-hearted inner beauty. The festival, now in its 32nd year, plows through a huge 1.5 million cubic meters of snow, attracting thousands of tourists to watch the sculptures at work and making it the largest snow spectacle of its kind. Initially, participants were primarily Chinese, but now it attracts sculptors from far and wide. This Spanish chiseler observes the difference in climate to his hometown.
It looks warmer than last year or 2 years ago. That for our body it's better because I came from Barcelona and it's really warm weather.
Clearly a lot of skill, talent and icy determination go behind these sculptures.
Sorry. Okay. So, because the entire festival is held in the winter months from December to February, and the attraction is made entirely of snow and ice, the temperatures are freezing. So in Arbin, the temperature is anywhere from negative 13 degrees Fahrenheit to 14 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's not even including the wind chill. They get their cold winters from Siberia, which is just north of China. You'll definitely want to watch out for frostbite. It is recommended that if you start to feel too cold or can't feel your extremities, that you'll need to find somewhere to warm up. So if you've got a minute, this chart has a lot of really good information on frostbite, but I'll just touch over a few of the points that I think are interesting or important to know. For finger control, 12 degrees Celsius is the critical air temperature for good manual dexterity, and 8 degrees Celsius for touch sensitivity. The body will preserve heat by favoring the internal organs, so it'll reduce the flow of blood to the extremities, such as hands and toes, and feet. So that's why those are the first to get frostbite, and you feel the effects of the cold from in those places first. Eyeballs won't freeze because they obviously are in your head, and so the body works extra hard to keep your head warm. Also, tears are salty, which reduces the freezing point. Ears are at the greatest risk for frostbite because there are no major muscles in your ears to help produce heat, whereas the rest of your body, our muscles, we shiver because our muscles are contracting to produce that heat to try and keep it warm. So to warm up, if you warm up too fast, it can be very dangerous. Instead of running hot water over our hands and feet, like sometimes we want to, it's recommended that we rub our hands and feet together naturally to create the blood flow and provide warmth for your body. Just a helpful hint from those who are in these temperatures, since the high in Arbin is often below freezing, it takes a toll on battery life, so you might want to try and remember to bring some extra batteries for your phone and camera. You do not want to miss out on capturing the beauty that Arbin has to offer. Also, if you can, store your batteries close to your body, like underneath your clothes, next to your skin, to help keep them warm and protect the life of your batteries so you don't have to switch them out as often. In the beginning, like I said earlier, it was just local people that participated in the sculpting competitions, but now it's an international festival, and it's got about 10 to 15 million tourists that come to visit every year. Viewers are in awe of the combination of nature and the technology that is displayed. Some of the ice sculptures have light effects for added beauty at night. To do this, they use computer-controlled LED lights to design and display the colors onto and inside the ice sculptures. Here's a picture of one of the venues that has a lot of ice sculptures in it. But the LED lights aren't the only colorful attraction that Arbin has to offer. The International Festival starts off the opening day with a huge fireworks show. About 10 years ago, in 2007, the festival had a Canadian-themed sculpture, and this sculpture actually got recognized in the Guinness Book of World Records. It was recognized as the world's largest snow sculpture. So it was about 250 meters long, about 28 feet high. Trains are a huge part of the town, so naturally they get recognized as well. Lonely Planet says that trains are what made this town. So I thought that was pretty interesting. After the Chinese Eastern Railway was built between 1897 and 1901, Arbin was linked to China's capital, which is Beijing. And this is whenever the trading really started to thrive in the town. And here is a close-up of one of the train sculptures. And here's just a few more sculptures that are in the venues. Next I've got listed some of the venues that are available for viewing. There are 4 main venues. The youngest one is called the Songhu River Ice and Snow Happy Valley. The entrance into this park is free, but if you want to participate in any of the activities, there are individual fees for those activities. So some of the activities include ice bicycling, tire sledging, rock climbing, ice karting, dog sledging, curling stones, and ice bumper cars. So a lot of fun things to do in this park. Next is the Sun Island International Sun Sculpture Art Expo. It's a mouthful. But this is the second largest venue, and this is a daytime showing, and it only displays snow sculptures. So there are no LED lights at this venue. But this venue also doubles as a zoo for the Siberian tigers, and they are there year-round, not just during the festival and winter months. They try and protect the Siberian tigers, and you can get on a bus and tour and see them, and the tigers, they say, will come right up to the tour bus. And there's even some spots where you can buy food and raw meat and feed the tigers too. The most popular venue at the festival is the Ice and Snow World venue. This showcases the huge scale sculptures that are making it in the Guinness World of World Records. It has palace buildings and the Great Wall of China and just all kinds of big sculptures like that, and they are colorfully lit. So this is mainly a nighttime showing. And last but not least, we have the Zooland Park Ice Lantern Fair. This venue has lots and lots of activities, and they're mostly focused on children, although plenty of adults enjoy them too. There are more than 1,000 ice sculptures in this venue. As you can see in the picture, they've got a Disney themed sculpture, so obviously Disney's big there too. And in the bottom left corner, there is a picture of one of the slides that you can actually go down. The Zooland Park shows off the vivid and fanciful design sculptures. Zooland is right off the bank of Songhu River, which, if you remember from earlier, is where they get the ice blocks from. So those don't have to travel very far. And it's also at the northern end of the Zooland Street. This was one of the first parks in the city, so it holds some importance to the Chinese people, which is why it's held there. And here in the picture is a picture of a walkway in Zooland Park. The Arbin International Ice and Snow Festival relates to the second theme of geography. Humans are manipulating the ice and snow around them to create beautiful and very detailed sculptures. The mountains of snow, which they are sculpting on, are part of the physical characteristics. And obviously, the 10,000 workers that cut and haul the blocks of ice relate to the human environment.